talking about the longest eclipse of this century, the total solar eclipse taking place over many parts of India still.
Yes, and we've captured some of those defining images of that celestial event on your screens right now. The eclipse over Delhi, Kurukshetra and Allahabad is up on your screens. Really, Delhi, not too many were expecting to have such a clear sight, but those visuals speak for themselves. The eclipse began a little after 5 this morning, and space enthusiasts were up early for a glimpse of that rare event, like many of us here as well. Eclipses are also deeply connected with religion, and over 15 lakh pilgrims took a holy dip at the Kurukshetra and at the Sangam in Allahabad. The celestial event was visible in Patna, Bhopal, Indore, Gaya, Varanasi and a few other places, but cloud cover over some of these places played spoilsport to stargazers, especially at Taregna in Bihar, where it was earlier predicted that it would provide for best viewing. Now this year the eclipse is as much a tourist draw as any scientific event. CNN-IBN's Rati Chaudhary was lucky enough to board a flight which took a route from New Delhi and really travelled to around Taregna, which perhaps provided the best view of that solar eclipse. Let's go to you now, Rati. You were sharing your experiences. Just describe for us once again really what you saw and what you felt when you witnessed this truly remarkable sight.
Yes, so since this eclipse was falling during the monsoon, there was a almost 99.9% chances that the entire country will be clouded. So that's why these guys from space organized this solar flight, eclipse flight, which will be going above the clouds. So that's what we actually did, like just to avoid the clouds and the rains and everything, and to see the eclipse, we went above the clouds at 41,000 feet. So obviously now you can imagine we were able to see the 100% total solar eclipse in its full glory. We were able to see the diamond ring. We were able to see the ring. It was beautiful. It was very bright and very beautiful. It was 4 minutes of total bliss.
Rati, you were explaining to us that a lot of media people were, of course, on that flight trying to capture those images. In fact, some of them we're seeing at this point of time, the ones that you in fact sent to us a short while back. These are images from that flight that went from Delhi all across Bihar and came back again this morning. But at the same time, give us an idea of what kind of people were actually there on that flight.
So these guys, these people who were on the plane, they like to call themselves eclipse chasers. So there was, on one side, when there was a gentleman from Mumbai, this was his 8th eclipse. He goes around the world every time there is a solar eclipse, and he goes around chasing these eclipses. So, that's their passion. Like, they like to go around. Just yesterday I heard of someone who has seen 37 eclipses. So for them, it's something they have to do. Like this gentleman who came from Germany all the way for this and who was on the flight with us. He was saying interesting observation, interesting thing that he had to say. He was like, it's like rare wine. If you taste it once, you want to do it over and over and over again. So there was an 11-year-old kid, there was an 80-year-old gentleman, there was different people, but all of them who like to call themselves eclipse chasers. So most of them were there for the photographs, some were there for the videos, but they were basically there for the experience.
Right, Rati, you mentioned that there was an 11-year-old child as well on the flight. Of course, a sight like this would be of great interest to youngsters as well. What was his reaction?
A girl, Shreya Srivastava.
Oh, sorry, okay.
And she's a photographer. So she's a prodigy child, she's a very good photographer. So we have met her earlier also. And she was very happy, although she was slightly disappointed because something went wrong with the camera. She wasn't able to take as many pictures as she wanted, but she was really happy. She's actually a star now, like most of these channels who are outside. Like, moment we came out airport, there are about 30 channels there. They're all, she's crowded by all of them. So for her, it's the moment of glory. Absolutely.
And for you too, Rati. I mean, it's an experience really once in a lifetime. And like you were saying, you've been getting a lot of calls and SMSs from your friends and family. Describe to us how important was this an event for, somebody who in fact tracks science and technology and, somebody like you as a reporter. How important was this for you?
It was very important because, I was a little mean here, but I was actually hoping that no one is able to see it, I was hoping that it's clouded throughout the country so that we are the only people who get to see it. But I don't know, like, I don't know how many people were able to see it from the ground actually. But for the people who were in the flight, see, if they have spent so much money, even like with me, I had to really, call these guys, the people who were organizing it, and make sure that I get a seat on the plane. So for all of us, it was really important. And before I was going, I don't think, even if there were some people in the office who didn't know my name, now they know, because I think all of them, one by one, came and asked me, so are you going on the flight? So obviously the excitement, there was a lot of excitement. I think it was worth it. It's totally worth it. Chances of it going wrong, there were major chances. Anything could have gone wrong. It's something which is, nature's thing. But thankfully everything just went perfectly.
Right, of course, nature is unpredictable. I mean, just see what happened at Tarigna. It was predicted to be the place where we could actually see the solar eclipse in its full glory, but unfortunately that's the place which really it was unlucky because of the cloud cover. But Rati, tell us, I mean, you had to run around a lot to ensure that you would manage a seat on that flight. But when you actually got it, when you sat in the flight, when you fastened your seatbelt, what was going through your mind? Just take us through your personal experience.
Actually, like, I got a scolding from the crew 4-5 times because I was so excited. I wasn't sitting. Not just me, the other channels, like there were 2-3 other channels. They were not willing to sit because it was just 2 hours and 35 minutes, and there was so much to do. There was so much to talk to people, and during that totality thing, we couldn't talk to anyone because everyone was just so occupied just looking at it. It was beautiful. What was happening, with the sun and the moon. It was something which we'll probably never see again. So just that the time was very less. There was so much to do and so much to experience. Really, like, I didn't really sit. All the time I was standing on my feet, running from one corner to other, trying to get the best shots. And then again, and every time, I was trying to watch it, I used to forget putting on my solar goggles. So that also, I had to be reminded like a couple of times. I'm a very responsible person otherwise, but seriously, like today it was so beautiful, that all these responsibilities, they were just not coming in my mind.
Yes.
All I wanted to do was talk to people and, just see outside.
Try and get their experiences as well. I'm sure, like you're describing it to us, it must have been quite a sight and quite an experience really to be traveling on that flight. Rati, thanks so much for joining us.